Okay, so this is a how-to for Twitter chats, and I'm going to show you just a couple things. The biggest thing is TweetDeck. When I started doing chats, ed chats, I was using my phone, and it was okay, and you can do it that way. But when you get a hold of TweetDeck.com, you will really learn to utilize tweets in a different way and chats in a different way. It's really the only thing that keeps me sane during a really fast chat. Some of the bigger ones like TLAP or Texas EduChat, those ones go really fast, and it helps having TweetDeck. So here's what TweetDeck looks like. It is on tweetdeck.twitter.com, and you have columns so that you can follow the different parts of the chat going on. When I first start, I think the best thing to do is have 3 separate columns, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is where you go to add a column. If you go right there to that plus mark, you'll add a column there. And then you hit search and you type in the hashtag for the chat. In this case, it's going to be K12 Art Chat. And so there you see what it looks like when you type that in. And at the bottom, it pulls up the column, and you hit add column, and then you'll see it come into your TweetDeck lineup. So there it is, it's added. Now we're going to add another one. I really think that, like I said, 3 columns is probably a good place to start. You want the hashtag, so we have that. Then you're going to want notifications. So if you hit add column, then you'll see this choose column type, and you want to hit the notifications button. And then you'll see notifications come in. And these are all the notifications, so if someone favorites one of your tweets or responds to a tweet, you'll see it here. So that way you can be replying to that particular person during the chat. The last column I think is important to add during a chat is the user. In this case, user is actually the host or the moderator. So when you open that hit the plus icon, and then you hit the user button, and then you type in the name of the person hosting the chat for that week. So this week, I'm typing in Mona Lisa Lives Here, and she comes up in the column right there. And that's what it looks like when she comes up. And then you hit add column. So now I have the 3 columns that I like to use for basic Twitter chat: the actual hashtag of the chat, notifications, and then the user or the person that's hosting that chat. So I know that's the person that's sending out the questions for the chat. Okay, so now that we have our TweetDeck set up, what do we do now? Well, that's a good question. It's time to chat, really. You get in there, you find your hashtag. So the first thing to do is, before the set time for the chat, and all the chats have pretty standard times that are set on a weekly basis. So if you were going to do TLAP, which stands for Teach Like a Pirate, it's at 8 o'clock Central Time on Monday nights, every Monday night. If you were to do PISD Ed Chat, that's at 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night. If you're to do K12 Art Chat, that is on Thursday nights at 8:30. So you can pretty much find, there's a couple different Google Docs out there floating around where you can find a list of all the chats out there, and you can pretty much find anything that you need to learn about via an education chat. So right before the chat, get on there, type in the hashtag, make sure you've got your TweetDeck columns all set up, and you're ready to go for added ease. Then the next thing to do is, when you're doing the chat, you always have to have the hashtag. So in every response that you have, you need to make sure that you're including the hashtag so that everyone can see it and follow along. So if you're in K12 Art Chat, always make sure that every time you tweet out that you're including that hashtag. That's also important for the storify at the end. So when the chat is archived, your tweets will be included in that. Then the way the format for chats is a Q1A1 format. And basically what it is that the host will post the question with a Q, like Q1, and then you'll respond with an A. So if you look at this next one, That's a question that was posted from one of our chats, K-12 Art Chat. Share tips for learning and using creative apps in your class. And actually, you can see there are 2 hashtags there. We did this one, a special chat, K-12 Art Chat for EdCamp Global 2015. So both those hashtags are involved there. And then the Q7 for question 7. You'll also see that there's an image. It helps sometimes to have an image if you're the host, or even if you're just replying. Images just gives that extra added visual that's helpful. So then there you see an answer, and that one comes from ArtGuy76, and that's A7, and then he says his answer following the A7. All right, the last couple things to know are that during the chat, it's really important just to be your friendly, normal self, to make sure that you're replying to people as best you can. Sometimes they go really fast, and you know, it's always okay during the introduction as well to make sure you say, this is my first chat, or I'm new to chatting or tweeting, and there will be people within the chat that can help you along. So just make sure to stay positive and make friends. And as always, the point between chats is to learn. So, you know, if you're not getting anything out of it, you don't have to do it. It's just personal learning. So the biggest thing is just you want to enjoy it and learn, and then you can learn together by growing PLN. So I hope you find that helpful, and I will sign off now.